VR is weird but very, very cool. I recently got an Oculus Quest 2 a while back, so now Facebook got me in their ecosystem of VR. They've locked me into the Metaverse. But man, I don't know, it's kinda worth it, no capo. The games on VR are just so fun and cool, and it's an experience unlike anything else. And I'm talking about real VR, not that garbage phone accessory fake doo-doo VR. Nah. Look, I'm not here to promote the Oculus Quest 2, unless I'm sponsored. But it's definitely the first truly affordable true VR system. It starts at $300, it's an all-in-one, so you don't need a computer or anything. It's made by a well-known company, hey, I didn't say trustworthy company, and it's incredibly easy to use. VR is looking more and more like a new medium, and less like a silly gimmick. Yeah, it's kind of the future.
Excuse me, guys.
Let's talk about the games. What games have I played and immersed myself in? First, we got Super Hot. So Super Hot is definitely one of my favorite games on VR. It was the first game I purchased on my Oculus, and I've never had a true VR experience like that until that moment. That game is so stupidly fun. I think the style of Super Hot fits perfectly for VR as well. It's very Matrix inspired. The time moves when you move concept works really well for VR. Everything about Super Hot is equally challenging and exciting. Every level you spawn into a new area with low poly red people trying to kill you with various weapons or attacks. It's up to you to quickly assess the situation, grab a weapon, throw that shit, punch that guy in the face, dodge that bullet, and stab that fool. It's such a fun gameplay loop, and with the various modes, it's well worth getting. Beat Saber. Okay, just like Super Hot, I feel like most people know about Beat Saber. It's like the most popular game on VR. And for good reason. It's easy to pick up and play, it's fun, it has a wide variety of songs. Beat Saber is a rhythm-based VR game where you slice cubes in the right direction and whatnot. Very simple. I've played it for a bit. I'm not very good at it, but it's fun. Thrill of Fight. Now this is what I'm talking about. Thrill of Fight was a game that I bought on the Oculus because it was only like $10 and it was very highly rated. Plus I wanted a boxing game. And if I'm looking to break a sweat, this is the game to play. It's intense and just really fun. In Thrill of Fight, you have various modes and difficulties, but the real fun comes from the challengers. It reminds me of Punch-Out in that way. You want to make your way up the leaderboards and you meet intimidating fighters who actually can be tough to beat. This game measures your swing speed, so it knows how hard you punch. You block, time, and wait for the right opportunity to get your opponent, hoping for that sweet knockout. Thrill of Fight, definitely worth it. Those are really the main games I've played on my VR so far, at least the ones I feel like that are worth mentioning. I do want to give Resident Evil 4 VR a go eventually, and Half-Life Alyx, but I'll talk about that one shortly. Now, the real hype that comes from VR is the excitement of the future, whatever that means. But what companies are leading the charge with VR, and how is it going to affect the future of gaming, and just in general, honestly? Oculus. Of course, we got Oculus. Good old Zuckerberg here to try and take over the world. But hey, the games are fun. Meta, or Facebook, is heading in full charge with VR. They are very confident in the quote-unquote Metaverse. And while the Oculus is primarily used for gaming, Meta is planning to do much more than that. They want to fuse the virtual and real world in some way. In their ad, they talk about releasing products exclusively in the Metaverse. So like Fortnite skins. Or like NFT monkeys. Yeah, I don't know, it all sounds pretty hopeful to me, and I don't know how they're planning for all this to work out. But they do have the edge with mass adoption. Everybody is getting an Oculus, it's crazy. Now we just wait for Zuck to pull the plankton move and just try to take control of the world or something. HTC Vive. I really don't know much about HTC. When I was first becoming familiar with VR, they did look appealing though. I heard their headset was better overall, but man, that price difference. And it's not an all-in-one, so you're gonna need a computer for it. So, good luck with that. Valve. Valve is one of the latest to arrive in the VR scene with the Valve Index, which does start at $1,000. Yeah, not cheap, but I have heard some pretty amazing things about it. Honestly, more so about Valve's Half-Life Alyx VR game, which has incredibly positive reviews, which is not easy for VR. I definitely want to give it a go eventually. It looks incredibly fun, polished, and challenging, plus with a great story. But I'm probably gonna play it on Oculus. Nintendo. That's a good one. Wait, you're serious? I mean, Nintendo has technically entered the scene of VR with cardboard. Yeah, the Nintendo Labo is the most Nintendo thing I could imagine for an entry to VR. It's kinda neat though. For little babies. No, in all seriousness, it is cool for younger kids to get the opportunity to build, code, and create with VR or whatever. It's fun. But good? Microsoft. Now, Microsoft is interesting. They are in the field of AR, augmented reality, and VR, but it's really AR where they shine. They have the HoloLens 2. Jesus! Yeah, that is not a cheap price point. It's mainly for an enterprise market because of that. Microsoft wants this to be a tool of productivity and stuff. The technology does look really cool though. Regarding their VR, it's kind of confusing since they're partners with HTC, so on their VR page, you're mainly gonna see them promoting those products. Sony. With Sony, we got the PlayStation VR, which of of course you're gonna need a PlayStation for. They were definitely early in the scene as well, and for sure popularized VR. If any gaming company is gonna do VR, I think PlayStation should be the one. But PlayStation VR has been out for some time now, and I really don't think it compares to the Quest. Quality, games, immersion are all just better on the Quest at this point. So we know the companies at play in the battle of VR, but what's the end goal? What does the future of VR look like, and how big is VR going to get? I truly don't see it going away anytime soon, and I think it may one day be a part of our daily lives, some type of fusion of VR and AR. There's a lot of potential with VR. The future of communication, exercise, entertainment are all in mind for this technology. But what about the dark side of VR? Now, when most people think of the dark side of VR, they think of some dude who's a loser in real life and uses the VR as a way to escape reality to the point where it's concerning for the guy's sanity. And yes, I think that is something to consider. I was more interested in talking about the greed side of VR. You see, companies are betting big with VR, NFTs, and cryptocurrency. They're all connected in some way or another, all to the point where it seems kind of ridiculous that people are buying JPEGs of a monkey with no meaning of value other than the so-called ownership. Like, yes, I get that people are comparing it to owning a skin in Fortnite or something, but the skin in Fortnite actually has a cosmetic use. Anyone can download a JPEG and put it as their profile picture. Oh, but wait, Twitter introduced NFT profile pictures, so you have to verify if you own it and you get a special shaped hexagon profile picture with your NFT. To just get bullied about it. Now, if Meta builds a foundation for virtual ownership instead of what we have now, like some actual use for these NFTs or something, I'll understand that a little bit more, but we have such a long way to go. Literally, the only reason people get into NFTs or crypto is for monetary incentive. When something is based exclusively on monetary incentive, the real value will suddenly disappear. I just find it so dumb. I don't know. Don't get me wrong, I want to be rich too. It's not like I haven't dabbled in crypto, but the more I learn about it, the dumber it sounds to me. Right now, I have no interest in this side of VR. Like, we're getting to the point where people are buying virtual real estate. Why? It just doesn't make sense to me. It's creating artificial scarcity. This guy is speaking so seriously about owning digital real estate while it looks like a Roblox world. It's a risky and long way before I can see an investment like this making any sense, but hey, maybe he's the genius and I'm the idiot. I mean, I'm the one making YouTube videos under a blanket while he has a multi-million-dollar company. Decentraland is one of the more popular virtual hub platforms. It's like a worse version of VR chat, but the thing is, it's on the blockchain, so proof of ownership is everything. It's the foundation of it all. Banks, companies, everybody's buying land on Decentraland. But like, who uses Decentraland? And the thing is, it's not going away. Virtual ownership and the concept of it is going to continue evolving, and VR is just a piece of the puzzle. And I'm not trying to be totally against these concepts, but I need an actual use for it all, for some meaning other than blind hype that people are falling into. We'll see how VR continues to evolve. There's definitely plenty of room for it to grow, and I don't think it's going anywhere. I'm just excited to play more games on it though. I may talk about the future games I play on it or something, but I did want to talk about VR to some extent, because it's pretty cool. Oh, and don't even get me started about VR poop.